From prisoner to Senegal's president, how did Bassirou Diomaye Faye win in just 10 days? Can someone who has just come out of prison become a nation's leader? The current president of Senegal was in prison in the same month he became president. On 14th of March, just days before the election, Sonko and Faye were released from prison, and now he is the nation's president. But what made him the choice of the majority? And if he truly was the best choice, what was he doing in prison? Let's find out. Do you know Bassirou Diomaye Faye, the current president of Senegal, came from a very humble beginning? He is one of the leaders with a story that can inspire many. He was imprisoned, and now look where he is. So, how did Bassirou Diomaye Faye's journey from incarceration to the presidential spotlight happen? Bassirou Diomaye Faye, a former tax inspector, emerged from a modest rural background with aspirations for change and progress in Senegal. Despite his humble beginnings, Faye displayed leadership qualities and a commitment to social justice from an early age. He was also a member of the Syndicate Autonome des Agents des Impôts et Domaines, led by Ousmane Sonko. Faye became the general secretary after Sonko's departure. His close association with Ousmane Sonko, a charismatic opposition leader known for his vocal criticism of the government and advocacy for reform, significantly shaped his political trajectory. Faye and Sonko shared a common vision for a fairer, more just Senegal, and their partnership proved instrumental in advancing their political goals. Their friendship is remarkable. Faye has 2 wives, Marie-Cone Faye and Absa Faye. Marie-Cone has 4 children, while Absa has none. Faye named one of his sons Ousmane in honor of their friendship. This shows how much their friendship matters to each other. During their political activism, Faye and Sonko faced adversity, including imprisonment on charges related to their opposition activities. Bassirou Diomaye Faye was imprisoned on charges related to his political activities, particularly his association with Ousmane Sonko and their opposition movement against the government. Faye was charged with several offenses in April of the preceding year, including contempt of court, after broadcasting a message critical of the judiciary in legal cases against Sonko. This suggests that Faye's imprisonment resulted from his involvement in political activism and his vocal opposition to the government rather than any criminal activity unrelated to his political efforts. Despite these challenges, Faye remained steadfast in his commitment to their shared cause, demonstrating resilience and courage in the face of persecution. Following their release from prison, Ousmane Sonko endorsed Bassirou Diomaye Faye as his successor, recognizing Faye's leadership qualities and potential to lead Senegal towards positive change. Sonko's endorsement lent credibility and legitimacy to Faye's candidacy, propelling him into the national spotlight as a presidential contender. Faye embarked on a whirlwind campaign tour alongside Sonko, rallying support from enthusiastic crowds and articulating his vision for a new Senegal. His campaign platform centered on left-wing Pan-Africanism, economic reform, and social justice, resonating with many Senegalese who yearned for profound change and a departure from the status quo. We will also discuss his campaign in detail so you know what made him win. Despite facing skepticism and opposition from political rivals, Bassirou Diomaye Faye's candidacy gained momentum, culminating in his recognition as the victor of the presidential election. His ascent to the presidency symbolizes a generational shift in Senegal's political landscape and offers hope for a brighter future under his leadership. How important was his alliance with Sonko? Faye's association with Ousmane Sonko, a prominent opposition figure, highlights the growing dissatisfaction with the political establishment in Senegal. Sonko, known for his vocal criticism of the government, has cultivated a significant following among disillusioned citizens who perceive the ruling regime as corrupt and out of touch with the needs of the people. At 44, Faye represents a younger generation of leaders aspiring to challenge the status quo and address pressing social and economic issues. His candidacy resonates with many young Senegalese who seek fresh perspectives and innovative solutions to the country's challenges. Faye's grassroots support, particularly among marginalized communities and urban youth, highlights how much his ideologies are admired. His campaign rallies, characterized by enthusiastic crowds chanting solidarity slogans, demonstrate ordinary citizens' power to drive political change from the bottom up. Faye's candidacy posed a significant challenge to the incumbent regime led by President Macky Sall. By aligning himself with Sonko and tapping into popular discontent, Faye represents a formidable opposition force capable of challenging the ruling party's hegemony and ushering in a new era of governance in Senegal. Here comes an important question. How did the relationship between Bassirou Diomaye Faye and Ousmane Sonko shape their political trajectories, particularly during challenging times such as imprisonment? Ousmane Sonko was a mentor and guide to Bassirou Diomaye Faye, providing him with valuable advice, support, and strategic direction throughout their political career. Sonko's experience and leadership served as a guiding light for Faye, particularly as he navigated the complexities of Senegalese politics. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Africa's geopolitics, economy, and changing landscape. Let's continue now. During times of adversity, particularly when both Faye and Sonko faced imprisonment on charges related to their political activities, their relationship strengthened. Their shared experiences of incarceration forged a deep bond of solidarity and camaraderie as they supported each other emotionally and politically through challenging circumstances. Sonko's endorsement of Faye as his successor solidified their partnership and ensured continuity in their political movement. By passing the torch to Faye, Sonko demonstrated his trust and confidence in Faye's leadership abilities, legitimizing Faye's candidacy and elevating him to a prominent position within the opposition movement. Faye and Sonko strategically collaborated on various political initiatives and campaigns, leveraging each other's strengths and resources to advance their shared goals. Whether organizing protests, mobilizing supporters, or formulating policy proposals, their collaborative efforts amplified their impact and visibility on the political stage. The relationship between Faye and Sonko inspired their supporters and followers who admired their unity, resilience, and commitment to the cause. Despite facing persecution and imprisonment, Faye and Sonko's steadfast partnership provided hope and encouragement to those fighting for democracy, justice, and social change in Senegal. Now, let's talk about his campaign. But how did he win people's support in 10 days? He promised people the change that they wanted a leader to make. Faye promised to implement economic reforms to promote a fairer distribution of wealth and reduce inequality. His proposals included measures to support small businesses, create job opportunities, and prioritize the welfare of marginalized communities. Faye pledged to renegotiate contracts in key sectors such as oil and fishing to ensure fairer terms for Senegal and its citizens. He criticized existing agreements as exploitative and promised to prioritize national interests in future negotiations. Faye advocated for reforming Senegal's justice system, which he perceived as corrupt and biased. He promised to address issues such as judicial independence, accountability, and access to justice to ensure fair treatment for all citizens. One of Faye's most controversial proposals was the potential introduction of a new national currency to replace the CFA franc. The reception of Faye's policy proposals varied among different segments of the Senegalese populace. The majority viewed his promises of change and reform as refreshing and necessary for addressing long-standing issues of inequality and injustice. They welcomed his progressive agenda and saw him as a beacon of hope for a better future. As we have discussed, Faye also faced many challenges. So, what were Bassirou Diomaye Faye's main obstacles? Senegal's economy faces various challenges, including high unemployment, income inequality, and dependence on volatile industries such as agriculture and fishing. Critics may question Faye's ability to deliver on his promises of economic reform and prosperity, especially in the face of external pressures and global economic uncertainties. However, the executives say Faye can address economic challenges by prioritizing job creation, investing in infrastructure, and diversifying the economy. By implementing targeted policies to stimulate growth, reduce poverty, and empower small businesses, Faye can easily demonstrate his commitment to improving the lives of ordinary citizens and fostering sustainable development. However, according to criticism, Faye can't solve another problem: the judiciary. Many perceive Senegal's judiciary as corrupt, inefficient, and susceptible to political influence. Faye's proposals for judicial reform, including measures to enhance transparency, independence, and accountability, may face resistance from entrenched interests within the legal establishment. But he also proposed a solution to this. Faye can overcome obstacles to judicial reform by engaging with legal experts, civil society organizations, and international partners to develop comprehensive reform strategies. By promoting dialogue, consensus building, and public engagement, Faye can build momentum for change and mobilize support for his reform agenda. Also, Senegal has experienced periodic social unrest and instability, driven by factors such as youth unemployment, ethnic tensions, and dissatisfaction with government policies. Critics question Faye's ability to maintain peace and stability, especially amid ongoing political tensions and societal divisions. Faye can address social unrest and instability by promoting dialogue, reconciliation, and inclusive governance. By prioritizing initiatives to address root causes of conflict, promote social cohesion, and empower marginalized communities, Faye can build trust and confidence in his leadership and foster a more stable and prosperous Senegal. What changes can Faye make to Senegal as he has become president? Faye emphasizes the importance of inclusive governance that represents the interests of all Senegalese citizens, regardless of their background, ethnicity, or political affiliation. He pledges to govern with fairness, transparency, and accountability, ensuring that every voice is heard and respected in the decision-making process. Faye also prioritizes initiatives to promote social cohesion and harmony among diverse communities across Senegal. He recognizes the richness of Senegal's cultural heritage and seeks to celebrate and preserve it while bridging divides and fostering mutual understanding among different ethnic, religious, and linguistic groups. Faye also promotes peaceful coexistence and dialogue as essential to resolving conflicts and building lasting peace in Senegal. He condemns violence, extremism, and intolerance in all forms and advocates for peaceful means of conflict resolution and reconciliation. Faye has also recognized the importance of investing in education and healthcare as critical foundations for human development and national progress. He prioritizes initiatives to improve access to quality education, healthcare services, and social welfare programs, particularly in rural and underserved areas. So there will be some change for the good in Senegal. This shows that not only the democracy in Senegal won, but also the people's interests won. Do you think Senegal is ready for a new beginning? What hopes do you have for Faye? Let us know in the comments section if you see Senegal getting better under his leadership. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: African politics, economy, and increasing power. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.